My home is where tobacco grows, and acorn rolls and Olo grows. That's where I'll be tonight, in that old tobacco town. Tobacco town, tobacco town. Think I'll head on down to Tobacco Town.
Well, we're here for episode 3 again of Jick and the Jew. We've had a lot of good feedback so far.
I'm digging it.
Yep. Right off the bat, we're in the Decoy.
We are.
We're in the Decoy tonight. So our first two were in last night. But,
last night, Bar and Grill. Decoy Bar and Grill.
And I love, as I first walked in here, I said I love the setup of this. It feels pretty good. And the lighting is nice.
This is the Stricker table.
The Stricker table.
We're an honored presence tonight.
Yes. So we're going to be going over a lot of things tonight, but we can just start off really quickly. Albion got postponed yesterday, so
Albion
didn't make it to show.
Yep. A lot of water sitting on the infield.
Okay.
Wasn't a playable surface yesterday, so they'll do a doubleheader makeup game July 8th. We can talk a little bit more about that.
Sure.
When the time comes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make this podcast tonight because I wasn't sure what shape I'm in, and
I'm just glad you don't have Bucky's Revenge.
yeah, I know, right? Eric and I were just talking about this a little bit ago before we went live, but I did the Madison half Ironman yesterday, and me and Eric were kind of talking about that. I don't feel as bad as I thought I would. I was a little exhausted this morning, but
So a 1.2 mile swim.
Yep, and then a 1.2 mile swim in Lake Monona, 56 mile bike ride throughout downtown Madison to Fitchburg, Oregon, back up to Verona, Paoli, which was fucking nuts.
Paoli is just in the middle of bumfucky.
Yeah, but it's a valley, so in order to get there, you have to not only climb. Well, the worst was Observatory Hill Road. People hate Observatory Road in the city, but then there's also this hill out in the country. That's just this massive climb, and I ran out of gears on my bike. And
At what climbing. Mile point are we talking here? Mile 50?
No. It was early. It was like 25, mile 25.
So you're halfway in.
Something like that, yeah. Before that, I think I shifted my gears too quickly because my bike that I have has a big ring for speed and then a small ring if you're going to do some climbing, and you got to figure out a way to adjust those at the right time. You get the chain to go from the big to the little. I did that too quickly. The chain popped off and it got tangled, and that took me so I had to clip off, pull over, and that took me about 5 minutes myself because I couldn't see tech support anywhere to just repair myself and get going. So I had to haul ass to make up the time I missed. Even before the race even started, like an idiot, I forgot my chip time. They strap it across your ankle, and you wear that the entire race, because then you have checkpoints that you go by. That way people can't tell if you're cutting the course or whatever.
Sure.
I forgot that strap at home and didn't realize until I got to the Alliant Energy Center. So I was scrambling all around trying to find somebody to give me another time ankle bracelet. So right off the bat, I messed everything up.
So then you finish the bike ride and you go into a 13.5 mile run then?
Yeah, 13.1 half marathon. And that was the easiest part.
Well, yeah, because you run constantly.
I do, but considering what you've done before, the swim and the run, you're just running around Lake Monona, and there's not a lot of hills, and there's a lot of, you're running in towns, so there's a lot of support too, so you keep going, and like I said, it was flat, so I didn't cramp up or anything. Out of the 3 disciplines, the swim was by far the worst, because it rained all morning, and they postponed the swim until 7:30 because there was lightning. And so it was still kind of cloudy in the area, still very windy, so now you've got these huge rolling waves that you're swimming into. And like I was telling you before, I'm 5'6", and trying to hop over these things is almost impossible. Every time I'd go to take a breath, I'd swig down lake water, and it was a horrible start to the swim. Once I crossed that halfway point and came in, now I'm riding the waves. So that made it a lot easier, and you can go a lot faster. But and because it was raining, the transition area where your bike's set up was just caked in mud everywhere. So Now I'm just dosed in mud, and it made for a pretty shitty cold ride.
Yeah.
But eventually you get used to it, and you
Yeah.
just kind of buckle down and grind it out. And I finished, and I finished in 6 hours and 59 seconds. And I wanted to go sub 6, but with all the bike trouble I had and the swim, it just wasn't possible that day. And I also have a bike computer on my bike. That went dead at like mile 50. So I have my bike. You're allowed to go down an arrow. That's how my bike's set up. So you're more aerodynamic. You have pads right here. One of those flew off at mile 50. So now I'm riding on steel. And then I come in and it's still muddy. I transition to the run. And I think like mile 10 of the run, my watch died, so I had no idea where we were. And there's only a certain amount of mile markers, but I crossed over the Monona Terrace like bike path, so I could tell I was okay. I'm getting close. Just put your head down and grind away. But
so anything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Yeah,
so
I
you
mean,
got Murphy's Law 100%.
Oh, not 100%. I mean, I knew a couple guys that got flats on the bike.
Well,
blew out a tube, and that is such a pain in the ass because if tech support's nowhere to be found, then you have to take off this inner tube. You have to use a CO2 cartridge to give a little bit of air, and then you have to work the tire bead into the actual tire, and that just takes time. And if you're good at it, if you've been doing it for 20 years, yeah, it takes you 2 minutes. But
so now who'd you race with?
I had a couple guys from town. The guys that I trained with and raced with were Brian Donnelly and Mark Poppendick.
How'd they do?
Poppendick finished a little ahead of me, so I was pissed about that. And Brian finished a little ahead of me, so I beat Brian. But I mean, everybody had a terrible day.
Well, yeah,
Just
considering conditions.
Yeah, conditions sucked, and that swim slowed a lot of people down. So I think the leader came in at like 4:17. So I mean, that guy hauled ass, but he'd been doing it for years, and that's his job.
About it.
Yeah,
right.
That's his job. So, but like I said, I feel great today. I even went. I got home, ate something, showered, which felt amazing, and then went right down to the Barron for a couple beers because Barron was having their 10th year anniversary. No, the two brothers were having their 10th year anniversary, something like that. So Quick Fix was playing, and there was another girl playing, but I can't remember who.
She used to be in Shotgun Jane.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. But I mean, I by like the third Miller Lite, it's like the fatigue was starting to set in. I'm just like, all right, I got to get out of here. So I got home and put on sweatpants, and then it was either going to be between Mario's or the Pit Stop Burger.
I'm guessing you want Mario's.
No, I didn't. I had so many carbohydrates throughout the weekend that I'm just like, I mean, I know Pit Stop Burgers got carbohydrates in it, but like that's what I was craving. So that's what I got. And took it to go, and yeah, woke up this morning a little sore, but nothing crazy.
How long did you train for this?
Oh, Jesus. 3rd week of January is when I started. So, yeah.
What kind of training regimen do you do?
So, in January till about a week and a half ago, I was doing 2 to 3 swims a week on average, probably 2,300 yards. And that a lot of that was in the high school pool, so you're just following that line back and forth, back and forth. So that was pretty taxing. And then I would do probably 4 hours a week on the bike. And I have the way my bike is I have a trainer you can put on it. It screws right in like the pegs, if you want to call it that.
Put it right in your living room.
Yeah, put it right in my living room and watch TV. You know, I would do that for an hour, hour and a half to 2 hours.
Can you simulate hills and?
Yeah. So the way I would do it is I would shift into a harder gear and then just simulate a climb almost. Mm-hmm. I also had this program called Zwift where you can actually race other riders like from across the country in real time. And it gives you, your speed, and it'll tell you when there's a hill, so when to adjust, and when there's a descent, so adjust then. And then, before April, you don't get a lot of opportunities to run outside Wisconsin. So a lot of my running time was on the treadmill. Like, I have a treadmill in my basement that you just sit down there and grind for an hour, hour and a half, and then on the weekends I would do what they call brick workouts, where you would simulate as best as you can And with those, I would ride the bike for an hour and then immediately jump on the treadmill after that and do a workout that way. And then Sundays, I would rest and have Sunday fun day a lot.
As is tradition.
Yeah, I'd go to I would go to like the open jams and stuff like that.
So when you're in race, how do you manage your? Obviously you're slugging water.
Water,
but you're drinking water the whole time. Are you eating anything?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's like the fourth discipline they say. On the bike, so before the swim, I ate a packet of like they're kind of like chews, kind of like Jolly Rancher type things, and those have about 150 calories in them. So I did that before the swim, and I guess they're my sponsor, Honey Stinger Nutrition. They're one of the sponsors that I have that just sends me a box of free nutrition every month if I tag them in Instagram stuff or Twitter stuff, whatever, and promote their company. So I did a packet of those before the swim. On the bike, I have 3 water bottles. One of them has a little bit of Gatorade in it, and then 2 of them have just water, but they have Hammer Nutrition salt tablets in them that like fizz in the water. And that way, the sodium I'm depleting, I'll also take in at the same time. So I finished both those water bottles. I did a Cliff Bar at like an hour in, and then I did another one of those gel energy shots that you use. I did that at like, I think 2 hours in, something like that. Didn't touch the Gatorade because I didn't really need to because it was freezing. Like you weren't losing that much. Right. But I think I looked at my watch the other day, or this morning, and I think I lost a total of 5,000 calories in the span of the entire race. So you're losing a lot of calories. So you got to make sure you got to put those back in. On the run, we have these little goo packets that are chocked full of sodium, caffeine, potassium. Those are about 100 calories alone. So I did 4 of those, but by the 6th or 7th mile, I was like sick and tired of eating these things because they're goddamn disgusting that late into a race. So I started drinking, and this is great. I didn't think about this. I heard about this, but I never tried it. But I tried it in the race. Is flat Coke. They had a lot of flat Coca-Cola when you go to these aid stations, and it's great because one, Coca-Cola has a ton of sugar in it, a ton of calories, and a ton of caffeine. So you do like a cup of Coca-Cola like that, which is about 8 ounces, something like that, and you just hammer that down, and within like 10 minutes you're off to the races again. Yeah, it's fascinating, but yeah, and just water, just normal water throughout the day.
What the hell got you interested in doing that in the first place? That's my question. I mean, obviously you've always been a runner, you've always been into working out and whatnot, but as far as taking to that next level and being Ironman.
I don't know. I started running after college because I just kind of felt like shit after what I put my body through in college. A lot of drinking. I smoked for a long time, and I just didn't feel good, and I wanted to lose some weight, so I just kind of said, I'm going to pick up running, I guess, and go from there. And I knew eventually when I could afford it, it would, transpire into the triathlon community. And, I had a lot of buddies that did it. One of my good friends, Jed, really got into it, did really well, so he was very inspirational watching him throughout the years, training and competing in these races and doing well. So that's why I got into it. And like I said, once I could afford it, to actually buy a really nice bike and all the crap that goes along with it, I got into it. So the sport's definitely a racket, though.
So are you doing a full Ironman then?
I don't know. My parents asked me that last night, and Marty Johnson asked me that today too, and I just don't know. Ask me in like a month or so. The full is another animal, and it takes a lot of time. Brian Donnelly's done the full, Jed's done the full, and a lot of those guys' weekends were just devoted to that, and any free time you have is devoted to that. And I'm just a little bit more social. I like to be out and about. I like to go to Tiger games in the summertime if I'm training for a full. Then, we're talking 6-7 hour rides, and then you're also trying to juggle all that with working full time, and it just becomes too much. And I love the sport so much that I think it burned me out. I really do. So, I mean, like I said, ask me in a couple months, I guess. It might be different, but for now I'm going to stick to some of the smaller races, and I at least won't do another half until at least a year from now, if not longer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I did yesterday.
Nice. I spent the day on the couch recovering from Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night was, I don't remember much of Saturday. Started golfing at 8:30 in the morning with Cole Demrow. And
Was there a golf outing or anything?
no, we just decided to go play 18 and ended up
nice.
hooking up with these two clowns from Fort that were, God, they were fun.
Yeah.
Really good time to play golf
Cool.
with, and shot out of my ass on the back nine. I haven't shot it sub 45 in 5 years.
Yeah.
I shot a 43 on the back, drank a lot of beer, and then the next thing you know, it's
Sunday.
Sunday. You wake up Sunday morning and go, what the hell happened last night?
Was there any bands in the area or anything going on?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
I think there was. I know Tatter was down in Beloit playing at the Caribou Lounge or something like that.
God, I came out here for the
Sorry,
meat
I need to
raffles.
click.
Came out here for the meat raffles. I did win some meat out here, which was nice for a change. But I don't come down here enough to play and complain about that, so I need to come down here more and play the meat raffles. But won some meat, and then we ended up... Where the hell did I go? I think I went down to the... Oh, I went down to the lounge for a little while.
Okay.
Then I went down to Two Brothers for a while.
Yeah.
I know I ended up at the Baron for a little while. I was at the pit stop for a little
So
while.
you hit them all.
Hit them all except last night. So did it right Saturday night.
You
and
could have
then,
easily swooped over to last night and then just walked home from
that.
there.
Well, that was kind of the plan, and the other half didn't want to do that, so we didn't
Sure.
do that.
Okay.
So
Fair enough.
But,
Fair
yeah.
enough. Well, sounds like everybody had a good weekend then.
yeah, so far.
We want to bring John in?
Yeah.
Cool. John, you want to come in?
Bring on the...
Come on in.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
On the hot seat, all right. Hey, thanks for coming in, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, nice job on the marathon. Good for you.
Yeah, we'll see how we feel in a couple days.
Yeah, when you're 56, you ain't going to be doing it. So.
Well, Donnelly's 55, and what's
but-
Poppendick?
Poppendick's got to be pushing 60.
Yeah, well, he's
Those
a
they're
freak, though.
freaks.
Yeah, Poppendick did that. Poppendick did the Boston Marathon in that,
He's done it a couple times.
but he did it this last
Yeah.
time, and it was like 40 degrees and raining and snowing.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like I know it's Boston
I think even
Marathon.
Charlie Richardson's daughter ran in that. The Boston Marathon.
Yeah, I can't remember if she did it, but I know
I think she did.
Carrie
Gregory did it,
Yeah.
and Poppendick was telling me she just already qualified for next year's.
good
She's a
for her.
freak, you know. God damn it, she's got those long strides, and she's got a great training team. It sounds like, and man, if I was just a little taller, I'm sure that's all it would take, right?
Okay, we
I'm
can't.
sure.
We can't get that.
No, the lead gene stopped that from happening. So,
The Schultes ain't much taller.
right, right. So how'd the golf outing go?
The golf outing was awesome.
Yeah?
We usually get the same group that plays there all the time, but this time we had Robbie Kep brought a team in, Corey Vickers brought a team in,
Oh, I saw that.
and I hope they had a great. And I know that they had a good time, and I just keep getting bigger, you know. And it's my way to
Yeah.
be customer appreciation to everybody. It costs you, if you remember, Creekview, it costs you $5.
Yeah.
And that just goes to prize money. I throw a food spread on here, and it's for anybody that's here. It's not just for the golfers, but
Yeah.
it's my way of just saying thank you to everybody. And we're gonna do another one again, either early September, late August.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I ran into Corey that night after the golf outing. He was in good shape.
They seem to have had a good time, and
A lot of fun was had.
oh yeah. It's it's fun.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's a lot of good people, a lot of good customers that come in all the time, and I appreciate them. And that's my way of saying thank you.
How long have you been having the golf outing?
I'd say probably 5 years.
5 years. Wow. I can't remember if I've ever played in it or not.
Do at
If
least
I-
2 a year.
If I had, I probably wouldn't remember.
Well, and that's not exactly the key to it.
right.
but,
It just kind of happens.
It does. And what we did what we do every year is Aaron and Nikki always give me a 10-round pass.
yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, Jack Sanders will find something at a rummage sale or something that he thinks would be a good thing to do. So then we raffle that off too. And this year we raised $195 for outreach.
Oh,
so we
good.
donate all that to outreach, and that's just a good thing. Aaron and Nikki are so good about they just give me the pass just for having the outing there, and of course they get a little bit out of it too. We booze it up out there for a while, and then we come here and booze it up here, and that's why you don't remember a whole lot later that night.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's good all around.
So tell us about what's been going on here lately. It seems like there's been some updates.
There are, and hopefully more, and hopefully more soon. Amber and I are managing and running the place. We got to be careful not to do too much because what we want to do is buy it.
Yeah.
But if we keep doing everything for them,
Yeah.
it's only going to raise the price up.
Right. We don't want that.
And we're pretty set of where it's at, and we've got some people that are willing to back us, so we're willing to put things, ease it back a little bit. There's things that we want to do. Phil from Miller that did the wall over there is just incredible. That he put that. He's been on board from the beginning. He whatever you guys need, I'll do it. Budweiser's got some stuff coming in that they're going to put up around the windows here. And Cisco, Jeff from Cisco, just been so supportive. Everybody's they know what potential is here.
And we'll shoot the
that's
back eventually. But so Miller brought this stuff in.
Yeah. What I told Phil right away is I told him because the wall just said nothing to me.
Yeah.
There was just a bunch of different kinds of mirrors up there that really, and there was a Dale Earnhardt Jr. picture that looked like he was 12. A Matt Kenseth picture, and he wasn't even driving at the time.
Right.
So that stuff's just got to go. So I told Phil my idea. I was going to go up to there's a place up in Easttown Mall that has a bunch of framed Packer pictures and Brewer pictures and Badger pictures, and that's what I was just going to plaster all over that wall. And he said, "Well, let me think about that for a minute." And he said, "What if we did a Brewer mural and a Packer mural?" And they can't do Badgers because that's Budweiser, but they can do Camp Randall like that. Budweiser has the rights to the Badgers, so they can do Camp Randall.
Oh, I see.
So they can't do the Badgers.
Right.
And he come back with this, and of course my vision was the '82 Brewers. If you guys remember that team, was just the best team Milwaukee's ever had. And then I also thought there'd be, like a Nitschke, a Starr, Horning, Max McGee kind of mural of that. And then he brought this in and I went, that's perfect.
Yeah.
This is, everybody can relate to Miller Park, Camp Randall, and Lambeau Field.
Absolutely.
And it just turned out so perfect.
That's so fascinating. Like, I would never know about the restrictions that Budweiser implements on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, and I kind of wondered if a beer company, being that it's a collegiate, athletic event where they don't sell beer at
we
the
can't
stadium.
drink at. We
Right.
can't drink at
Can't
Badger
drink
games.
at a Badger game. Well, we can, but
Well, yeah, right. You can Phil Burrow it and just kind of.
Depends on how you do it. You can do
You
it.
can do it.
I love that picture of Camp Randall. Those are like pictures right from my seats.
Oh,
I love that. And, good old Travis Larson sits up there with me, and Robbie Kepp and Tyler Richardson. And somehow there's a bottle of brandy that always finds its way into the game.
Oh, yeah. They must leave it there for you.
Yeah, I think so.
We went one year. It was Kevin Leitz and me, and we got somebody's tickets, and I don't know. It was the Michigan game when Stocco, I think it was, his quarterback sneaked it to beat Michigan for the first time in years. And we sit down, and guys in front of us said, "Did you bring the bottle?" So whoever's tickets we had, it was their turn to bring the bottle. We didn't know what we didn't know what they're talking about.
I'll leave quick.
So we didn't have the bottle.
Imagine how disappointed they were.
Well, it was Jason Clark and Brandon Clark, so we had some pretty good size on our side.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
What was that? That was the mid-'90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
No,
remember.
it wouldn't have been mid-'90s because
Early
I was
2000s.
Was that like the year they went to the Rose Bowl for the first time in
yeah.
93, 94?
See, this is why
No, it
Charles
wasn't,
needs to be part
no,
of
it
the
wasn't,
show.
no. It was well after that because
That was the year they tore the goalpost down and had that everybody crashing out of the.
Now, Charles, if you're listening, just try to calm down if we're not getting this right.
Yeah, this is why we need a fact checker. This is where Tatter's
This is where Tatter comes in. We need a fact checker.
It would have been closer to 2,000.
I don't recall at all, but
That's when
that
it
was
would
a
have
while
been
ago.
because
Was Dane playing? Was Dane playing?
I don't think so.
What was his last year? 2003.
No, I think
No, he was before
2000.
2000 was his
I
last.
want to say it's somewhere around there
Jesus.
because I know he set the record at home against Iowa.
Yep. And he struggled to get it that
And I
day.
got a lot of crap. I think it was around that time because I got a lot of crap from people, being that my family's from Iowa and they all thought I was a Hawkeye fan.
Well,
Not a Hawkeye fan. Sorry,
no, that's all right.
I apologize.
So how did the outdoor gig go?
It was for as hot as it was.
Was that Memorial
And
Day?
as,
weekend?
Yes.
as miserable as it was, morning days was awesome.
Always,
And it started out slow, which I was talking to Jerry, Reese's husband, and I said, you know what? I don't care how this goes. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
We're not going to be afraid to take chances like that. And so, and then it turned out, by the end of the day, there was, 50 people outside, there was 50 people inside.
Perfect.
And, because they just didn't want to go outside. But there were people here that I haven't seen here in years
Yeah.
that we need to get them people back in here.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do is build a business back. Because nothing against Tom and Carol, but they've not wanted anything to do with building this business up, and they're content with what it was.
Well, and what do we hear constantly about the Decoys? That's a gold mine. With
Gold
the
mine
parking
and-
and the back and the bar setup and
Which is a great lead into one of my questions.
Yeah.
I don't remember much, obviously, before drinking age of this place, but I used to hear a lot of stories about, softball leagues coming down here afterwards and
Well, and
Little
so
history of the
then
bar.
Then the softball leagues went away. When softball left Edgerton, that hurt Edgerton. When I know Steve Hine ran it for a long time.
so I don't remember. Maybe I was too young, but I don't even remember like the softball.
I remember the over 30 softball league.
That one I kinda do.
I used to keep the books for
Yeah.
that.
There was a co-ed league. For a while, there was a men's league, and I think that's what Hine ran. But the co-ed league, Pat Leitz got that started. There was a women's league that went from to play downtown, and then when everything moved out to the park, and they put the diamonds out there, they moved out there because they had the lights. The women's league had paid for the lights for downtown, and so they were the first lights to be at Racetrack Park. They put them up for their diamond before they got all the other lighting done. But
The women's league did.
yeah, and there was a co-ed league on Fridays. That was a lot of fun, and but then softball just kind of
Fizzled out.
it did. And it's kind of like a lot of things now that the younger kids, bowling's another one that's dying out because the younger kids aren't getting into it.
Yeah.
My son Bryant, he bowled for years and then just didn't want to do it anymore.
Rinker bowled a lot in his
Yeah.
day. I actually went to like state championships or amateur state championships.
McGuire
something
boys,
like that.
Cantwell boys,
Yeah.
Darren Webb, Tim Huff.
I never thought about that. You're right. Bowling's just kind of
It just-
faded
it
out.
just
Nobody
kinda
does
has.
leagues. Well, I mean,
It
what do you do? We don't really have a bowling alley that's been consistent for a long time. If we had the consistency, and he may rest in peace, but we just didn't have that.
No,
for a long time.
He ran the place into the ground. We all know that. And
Yeah.
He ran everybody out of there. He had it made. He absolutely had it made with the leagues out there. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that there was enough people that were interested in like softball back then.
there was. It was a big thing.
Especially for a women's league. I mean, could you imagine trying to field a women's team now? I don't think there's an interest there, really.
No, there isn't anymore. But back then they had. I know there was. The Baron had a team. Oatsman had a team. That's back when there were. I know there's still the Baron and there's still
Yeah.
two brothers, but it's hard to ask one guy to sponsor 2 teams. You
Yeah.
got 2 bars, can you sponsor 2 teams? It's hard to get, and it's hard to get
Yeah.
sponsorship anymore because you're expected to come in.
Yeah, the pace of life has changed.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
And people work and stuff, but we worked back then too.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't afraid to go to the sponsors after
Right.
we got done and
I see a
support
lot of
them a
people.
little bit.
I'm in volleyball league out at Snuffy's every Wednesday, and the Baron sponsors us for that. And I see it. I mean, there's leagues everywhere for volleyball now.
Yeah.
That seems to really taken off in the last few years.
it has. And the only thing with volleyball is the liability insurance part of
Sure.
it that comes into play. And
Oh,
it's
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
something we would definitely be looking
Sure.
at. But
Well, I was
there's
just
a lot
saying
of
in general,
restrictions. I know.
it seems like there's been more.
But I get asked about it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
About are you going to put volleyball in, horseshoes in, and before I would put horseshoes in, I'd put bags in.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'd just put a fence up. It's going to stay up, and you can take your beer out there. And
Yeah, I mean, I just had to sign a waiver for Snuffy's, and you know why you're signing it, but you really don't think too much
Right.
in depth about it. And yeah, I'm sure that's a huge liability if somebody tries to Superman it and goes up and tries to spike one and lands on their ankle
but you can
and
do
breaks it.
Jimmy Eastman, tore his Achilles playing basketball,
Yeah,
and you can
yeah,
you can get hurt doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that you got to go through it, you got to get an attorney to draw the waiver up so
Yeah.
that everybody's covered by it
Yeah.
and understand what you're reading.
yep. Which half of them, including myself, aren't.
No, you don't
really
read it.
understand.
You don't read it. But if you
Signing
get
off.
hurt, you're not going to go back after Snuffy.
No, because it's
But
my
there-
own stupidity.
But there's
Some people it would.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So you
It
got
would
to
make
you got
a
to
quick
be
buck.
covered that way, but definitely going to do the band outside again. Eventually, if we do end up buying the place, there will be an outdoor facility built, and so then you can always go outside.
Yep.
For now, I just tell everybody if you want to, go ahead, but
Yeah.
I didn't tell you could.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
But if you just go out, if you're just going to have a cigarette, you just go out, just go back around the corner.
Sure.
Nobody's going to see you anyway.
Right. Right.
And the neighbors, the only complaint I got from any of the neighbors was that all they could hear was the generator. So can you turn the band around next time?
That's positive, though. That's really
pretty
It
good
was.
for
Everybody,
complaint, yeah.
Everything's been so positive from everybody. All the feedback we've gotten with the, like the wall, everybody's like, what's next? The lighting behind the bar. Amber went and bought lights to put up there. And it just, when you're here on a Friday night, it just gives it more of an atmosphere than just a normal,
Yeah.
it's just little things like that you do that make a difference.
Yeah.
And people see it and they like, whoa, that's different. And little things like that we can do.
Yep.
But as far as getting, like building something permanent out there, not until we get
That's
the
in the
title.
future, yeah.
And hopefully it's soon. We get a 6-month kind of a deal with them,
Right.
which would end up in like November or something. But I kind of want to speed it up and get it done with, because we've talked about doing breakfast, and I know breakfast is a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
We go to those places in Palmyra every Sunday and eat, and they rush you through there.
Yeah.
You get you sit down, order your food, you got it within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And they want you out of there in 10 minutes.
Yep.
So they can clear the table, get it ready for the next group.
Yep.
So we had a $50 bill yesterday. You turn that table twice. It's one table bringing in you $100 for something that didn't cost you much to make.
No. Breakfast
Eggs
is
and
pretty cheap.
ham and
Yeah.
toast.
Yeah.
Shred a couple potatoes up. You got some hash browns. It doesn't
Yeah.
take much.
No.
But then the one thing too is in staffing the whole place. And,
Yeah.
And we put a lot of hours in now, and that's just going to add more hours to it.
Oh, yeah.
But so that's why we kind of just decided on Sundays for the next couple months we're going to be closed until August.
Okay.
And we got to find a reason for people to come here on Sundays.
Right now,
Every
yeah.
bar's got a gimmick.
Yeah.
Creekview does the free chicken wings.
Yep.
And that's great.
Yep.
And
Well, that's good timing then,
Places
because
used to do free
Packer
smelt.
season starts then too.
Yeah.
And yeah.
There used to be free smelt that they would do, and he hates that word free, and I'm in favor of it, because if you're not willing to take that chance to do that, how are you going to know?
Right. Well, and
And-
plus it gets people there then. I mean,
Yeah.
I've done that many times with the Creekview wings.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Creekview because there's free wings.
Yep.
But, while you're sitting there too, you're putting down a couple
Yep.
beers and
And
getting other things.
that's all they
and-
want.
Yeah.
They
And they realize wings are dirt cheap as well.
Right.
Oh yeah, they are,
Mm-hmm.
and that they're they go through a couple of cases of them, and if you sell enough beer to get away with it.
Yep.
But
People don't care if they know they're cheap,
Right.
But
Oh, yeah.
you don't have to prep them. You don't have to make them or anything like
No,
that.
right.
They
Throw
just
them
bring
in the
them
deep
to you.
fryer, done.
And there can be a little basket with all the different sauces in it. Here
Yep.
you go, and
Yep. People gladly do that. So
So, John, how long have you been around the Decoy?
well, I worked here when Ralph owned it, so
So that's kind of part
I've
of
been
it.
I actually pretty much as long as it's been here.
How long has the Decoy been here?
I believe it opened in '83. And I think the first time that I was here was with Jack, and it was Christmas Eve, and I think he was having a 1-year anniversary. And I believe that because I think that so it would open in '83 because that would have been '84. So yeah, so it's been 20 to 33 years.
has it always been called the Decoy?
Always,
Always.
yeah.
Wow.
And the clientele, how was the clientele
Through the years,
changed?
the way it's, they come and go, and
Yeah.
a lot of them aren't coming back.
Well,
We've
yeah,
lost a lot
we've
of
lost a lot
people
of
over the years that you just, great customers that they pass away.
Yeah.
And that happens everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This bar more in particular because it is an older clientele. So
Right.
when they go, they go.
Right.
And yes, a lot of good customers over the years. So now we got to try to build. We're trying to get a younger clientele and still keep the older. When we had the band outside, Sally Burns comes out and sits and watches that. Sam Wilcox is out there watching the band. So we can do that and keep the older
Oh,
clientele.
absolutely. Especially in Edgerton. Like, us younger guys we don't care if there's...
No, we
No,
like hanging out.
and
with the
And
old
that's
folks.
No.
and then
Yeah, love hanging out
we
with
do
them.
the Packer game thing. Your ages can come out and sit and watch a game with Greg Hansen and Sally and Bob,
Yep.
and everybody will get along.
Yep.
It's not like it's going to be any. They're not going to care too much about what's going on. Just
No.
so the game's on.
Right. Right. Wow, I
How
didn't
long
know
was
it was
TK own this bar then?
Yeah. So '83, and I started working here. It would have been 89. I think I started in '89. It was a Tobacco Day Saturday night, which this year we're going to have Tobacco Days Saturday. We're having morning days again.
Okay.
They were always here Tobacco Day Saturday night, and I don't know why he ever changed that, but so Bobby was in here and we were talking about. Well, he stopped in because he needs his clubs regrouped, so I was going to do that, and he goes,
Sure.
"Hey, you booking any bands?" So, so he did his work on that day too. So
When do they start?
they're going to start at 9:00.
Okay.
I'm going to play 9 to 1, and then we're not going to be open on Sunday, of course.
Sure.
And because just
There's a lot going on on Sundays with Tobacco
well,
Days
it
anyway.
is. It's kind of turned into Family Day
Yeah.
and Cookout Day, and that's what Sundays. Now there's a lot of graduation parties.
Yep.
This week is Father's Day,
Yep.
so you're
That's right, it is.
Cookout Day again, and that's just what Sundays have turned into. It's more of a family day kind of a thing.
They only had that parade. I mean, the parade is huge
Yeah.
for Tobacco Days. Absolutely huge. And then, a lot of people, I think they're doing that, well, Tanner said they are doing that jam again this year. Maybe not a jam, but they're having all those bands on Sunday.
Yeah.
And everybody takes a very short set and then
They all
get
come
together
together
at
at
the
the
end.
end.
And, yeah, so I don't think you'd be doing any harm
No, that's
being closing that Sunday.
no, and
That's an easy one.
if we don't, we got to start supporting Tobacco Days.
Yeah.
Everybody does, and
Yeah.
just like we got to support the Lions Club because it's not free to do what they're doing.
Right.
And if you don't support them, we aren't going to have it anymore.
Yeah.
Tobacco Days used to be a really big thing, and it still is.
Mm-hmm.
But we still got to support, and the softball tournament's big, and Little League's out there, and the girls have their alumni deal on Friday night, and they usually get nice bands out there and stuff. So it's worth it to go out there and support them. And I'd be closed on Saturday too, but that wouldn't make any sense.
No.
No. But
So-
you're right. Tobacco Days, we really need to focus on. Again, I don't know what would exactly go into that, but it's something that we need to put more into. I don't know if that
You know, they
means
did-
fundraising or what.
Well,
but-
they did a nice thing by getting it all so you can get it in the park for free.
Yep.
So
God, I think that was what.
rather than
2009
paying
or
$10 a button or whatever it was,
10. Yeah.
spend the $10 in there with them.
Mm-hmm.
Get buy their beer, buy their food. Whatever you got to do whatever we got to do to support them
Yeah.
is what needs to happen. Keep it going because it's been a big festival in this town since I've been here,
And there's a ton of money that seems to go into everything downtown.
Mm-hmm.
The car show, the craft fair, all that stuff. That has huge turnouts.
yeah. That craft
Every
fair just
year.
gets they just get bigger. That craft
Yeah,
fair
and they
does.
just keep on adding stuff
And
too,
they're
like
adding-
music
they're-
throughout the day
Yeah,
and
they're adding Pottery Festival this year.
to Tobacco Days.
Hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're just going to join up with Tobacco Days, and it's like you said, it's getting bigger and bigger.
Is it still
going
going to be like where was it at?
Clay Pit Pond was where
Yeah.
it was. I don't know exactly the details of it. I mean, we'll have Steve on next month to kind of talk about it. But we heard about it from somebody on one of our last. Maybe it wasn't that.
Was it Tatter that said that?
Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
during one of our recap meetings.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just another thing then.
Yeah,
Makes
makes everything bigger, better.
Yep. And I mean, I have always liked the fact that it's kind of town-wide. I mean, I even like taking the Friday off and rummage sailing around in the morning. And, I do the 10K in the morning. And then, pretty much as soon as that's done, dive into the festivities.
Oh yeah.
Liquid libation.
Yeah. But, so, I mean, there's something going on throughout the town every hour, which is nice.
Oh yeah.
And the last couple of years, I've gone down to the craft fair, and I never did when I was, in like my early 20s. I never did, and now I look forward to that craft fair, just walking around, and sometimes you probably shouldn't have a beer when you're doing that, but I do.
It's
What do you
tobacco
do?
days.
Yeah.
Tobacco Days.
Turn the other way.
And the car show brings in a ton of money for those bars too. Then
Yeah.
a ton. I
So
think a lot of those guys come here after the car show and bring their cars. I remember meeting Nick here a few years
Yep.
right after the car show, and so.
Yep. They usually do that.
Well, it sounds like we got a lot of good things coming.
yeah. How'd you get hooked up with Amber? I mean, because it's John and Amber run the
Right.
Decoy, and I know we've talked about,
Would you care if Chad went by and grabbed
No.
another? You want to
No,
grab me
go
another
ahead.
Miller Lite, Chad, if you could, somewhere back there?
Right by the cash register, just below it, top shelf.
Thank you.
I was actually going to leave here and go to work at Creekview.
I did not know that.
Well, we've had so many kind of deals here, and
Yeah.
so I was getting to a point where I'm not doing any good here anymore. They're not going to let me do what I want to do, so why stick around? Mm-hmm. So
Thanks, Chad.
Amber come up with an idea. She said, "Well, what if we ran it?" And I said, "Okay. What are you talking about?" And she drew up a business proposal, gave it to them, and so it's still their business, but we are running their business. So, again, that's why I want to slow things down a little bit and not do too much for them, because we got to save some stuff for us.
Right.
If we would start doing everything right now that we want to do, what are we saving for ourselves if we do buy it? So it's kind of, she's just my best friend. And she kind of had a way of persuading me to do this. At 56, I wasn't planning on getting in the bar gig anymore.
No.
And that's why I was going to go to Creekview. I worked with Bob out there last year when Hippie left. And so I thought,
I do remember that.
I can do that. I can go do that. They can find somebody to work during the day here. They need help. I can help them out on weekends or help them out at night. Still do something here to help them. And then Amber came up with this proposal, and I went, let me think about it. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, I can do it for 10 years and see where it goes. And if it's working out, I won't see snow anymore.
No.
She's been working here for quite a while, hasn't she?
7 years, I do believe, right around that. I just have never worked with anybody better.
She's great. She comes for service and everything, and she doesn't slack or anything like that. She's on the ball.
She is, and now Emily Pope started working here.
Oh, that's even better.
Last Wednesday,
Emily's great.
so she's working Wednesdays, and we're going to try to work her in some more. And Allie, Robbie's girlfriend's been helping us out here during the day, and that gives me a lot of freedom to.
She works at the country club too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to put a face to the name.
And then Amelia Olson started working here too, and so now we're getting. And she came in Friday night, and for her first Friday ever working, she caught on to it. She understood it, got it, and everything was great. So getting the right people in the right spots, with any business that's what we got. And Emily caught on right away.
Sure.
To the bar part of it. She can get into the waitressing part of it, and she's worried about carrying more than 2 plates. And I said, "It's all I carry."
Yep.
Because I know cooks don't want to recook.
Right. Do what you can.
I'm only carrying 2. I don't care.
Speaking of food, I mean, this place for a long time has always been known as like the fish fry place, and people get here like 4. I mean, maybe even 3:45 sometimes, depending on how old they are.
Yeah.
Will there be any interruptions to the fish fry or anything like that?
No. That has to stay.
That's a staple. Yeah.
It is. That's like making burgers fresh every day. That's got to be that's not going to change, because that's what has built this kitchen up and built the business up, was the fish fry. So the fish fry is not going to change.
Yeah.
What's going to change about the fish fry is we'd like to start doing it all day.
Oh, okay.
Doing it at lunch too.
It's your lunch special.
It's not going to hurt your nighttime.
Sure. Well, it'll hurt my old man's diabetic level, but that's all right.
But
that's all on him.
There's nothing wrong with having it all day. And the fryer's there. All you can do is turn the fryer on.
Right.
And it doesn't take long to. I mean, other than some other thing, I'd rather cook fish than some of the other things that take 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You throw a few pieces of fish in, and they're good to go. Which that's been my gig on Fridays now. I've been out here a lot less because I can't be.
Sure.
But now that if I can just find somebody back there that we can put back there and trust them, know they're going to do things the way we want them done.
Right.
Lear told me when he had BBGs up there, they were interviewing cooks, and he said they had, I don't know, like 16 cooks, and he said half of you aren't going to make it because you're not going to do things our way. Told him that right out, and we're kind of the same way. You gotta care about what you put out. It's got to be something you want to look at, you want to eat.
Right. Well, it's got the notoriety of having a great fish fry, so you better not fuck it up.
So the fish fry is going to stay exactly the way it is. That's not gonna change. I'd like to add potato pancakes to it. Just another potato option, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it out on Wednesday nights. I'm going to try working potato pancakes in on a Wednesday night, which is easier to do on Wednesday than it is Friday. There's just so much other stuff going on Fridays. Try it on Wednesdays and see how it goes. And if it goes over, then it can be something we can, not just on Fridays, we can have it every day.
Well, that's the beauty of it. I mean, you can take the reins kind of, and you can try things, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out.
Yeah, then
move on to the next thing.
You just can't be afraid. When you're in any business you're in, you can't be afraid to try something new.
No, and I like the idea of chopping away at things,
just
individually, little by little.
Little things at a time.
I mean, he said the lighting, and I kind of chuckled, because I've heard Paulson bitch when we're at random bars about, I don't like the lighting in here. We got to go. I'm just like, the lighting? He goes, I don't like it in here.
Well, and I get it all the time from, some of the customers that come in, and you're behind the bar. You don't realize, the darker it gets outside, of course, the brighter it's going to get inside.
Right.
You don't realize it because I'm here the whole time, and I don't realize it's getting brighter.
No.
Then they say something, well, it is brighter, but I'm not paying attention to that. I'm busy getting your goddamn beer.
Right.
So that's one thing. Try to keep track of the lighting. Well, yeah. And I understand what he's saying, but
I get it too. And he wasn't saying specifically here, but he said it at like other bars, and I just don't think of that.
No.
You know, I've
You
got a
don't.
beer in my hand.
I got beer in my
That's all I
hand.
care
I
about.
want to talk to.
TV's on.
Is this cold?
Yeah.
And if it's empty, is it full yet?
Right.
That's all I worry about.
Right.
It's got a hole in it.
But,
Yeah.
you know, and others, besides, the Decoy's been great for hosting bigger, family-oriented events. I mean, when I've been here, there's been like confirmations, there's been baptism parties. We had Rusty's thing here, and because it's got the room to hold all these people. You know, that's kind of the nice thing about it, and you can move everything if need be.
Yep. You
know,
like with Rusty's, we went and got all those longer tables.
Yep.
Kind of moved these ones around, and so I think we had seating for like 120 people.
Yeah.
The thing about Rusty's
And
party,
it wasn't packed. You know what? You weren't crammed in.
Right, you weren't.
We were
You
able to
could
do
move
it. We were able to
throughout the
do
bar
it. You
if you
could still,
wanted.
yeah.
there were times I remember that party specifically
Same door, bottom shelf. Next door over, bottom shelf.
having to walk out the front door, walk around the building to come in the
Oh,
side
yeah.
door to either get
Eventually,
food
yeah.
or use the bathroom
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there was just that many people here.
Yeah.
But it still had a good flow.
It had a great
It
flow
did.
to it, and the stories that were
was
going on
so
that
over.
day.
What? And, you know, we had Richie Green's
Yeah.
celebration here too. We've had a lot of celebrations here, and it's good for that because there's plenty of room, and you know we don't care if you bring your own food in. The only thing you can't bring in is beer.
Right.
Well, I got to draw the line somewhere.
Right.
So, so we're allowed, you know, and we set everything right along this wall, and so everything's been. We've never had too many complaints anyway, and we've got Paul and Donna Splitter's 50th anniversary party coming up.
See, there you go.
A week from Saturday.
Yeah.
And you know, I told Sarah whatever she wants, whatever you need to bring in, bring in.
Yep.
Don't whatever I can do for you to help you because I've done so many of them. And if you forgot anything, Piggly Wiggly's right next door.
That's the beauty
And
of it too. That's nice.
You can always go and get it, and that's what I tell everybody. No matter what, it's next door, and they've got everything you're going to need. And if they don't have it, just sneak over to the dollar store, and they've got stuff
They've
too.
got something. Deegan's
And
is right there.
Donnie Menard's got anything electrical you'll need right there.
I've been calling him that for years.
Never
One of my,
heard
we've never heard
that. Not even Menard.
John's got a nickname for everybody.
I didn't come up with that one.
No.
I cannot. Cod Spike, COD. He come up with that one. He called him Donnie Menard,
Menard.
and it just kind of stuck with me. So I've called him that ever since. Yeah, Cod was good at giving nicknames away. He called Joe Collins Donahue. Cod did. He come up with nicknames for everybody.
I
I'm
do
good friends
think-
with a lot of Deegan boys.
I think
Donnie
one of
Menard.
Donnie Menard.
Donnie
One of my
Menard.
favorite-
That just stuck when he come up with that one. That was beautiful.
One of my other favorite ones is the carrot cuff and dough dick.
Oh, that was Mike Sanger. He come up with that one. Oh, Mike was funny. Just a great guy, and he helped me out a lot. You know, I was at Dorsey, and Dorsey left, and then he got hired out at CTI, and I saw him downtown, and he goes, "Don't worry, I'm going to get you in there." And that October, I started working there, and ended up working there for 20 years.
Sure.
But yeah, he was great. Just a great guy, and Bonnie was really good to me when I decided it was time to make a step in my life and get out from under where I was at. And Bonnie said, "Hey, here's the key to the house. It's yours." And that was, yeah. But they're good people, and the town's full of good people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that. That's
Absolutely.
just. Yeah, but Mike come up with that carrot cuff and dough dick thing. That was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I can't go any more into that story, but
No,
that was
fine. I think just the Donnie Menard story is good enough for me. I've never heard that. Well, anything else you want to say about this place, or before we get you out of here?
No, not really. You know, just give us a chance. That's all I'm going to ask everybody. I know it's comfortable going to the Baron, and it's comfortable going to Two Brothers and wherever bars you normally go to, and I understand that, and I don't blame you.
Sure.
But keep an eye on what's going on here, because there's going to be some changes coming up. We're going to try to do a little bit more advertising but we do a lot of it. We have a Amber built a very nice website, Decoy website, so
I'll check that
get
out.
on there
I
and
haven't
check
seen
that out.
What is the website?
Decoy Bar and Grill.
With .com?
I've got to imagine it's
Probably.
Sure.
I'd say probably it is. But
.gov.
oh, she
Yeah, to be weird.
I don't know if she did. If it's a Facebook page, or I know it's on. I know there's a Facebook page too. So,
so you're smart. You grabbed two. I didn't.
And we try to update every week different things.
Yeah.
You know, put different pictures on there. You know, because we got a meat raffle on Saturday at 3:00, and then just different specials with fish fries, and we're going to try to do. And I'm going to try this Wednesday. I'm just going to use the Friday fish for the fish, and see how it goes. Because if you're my brother Jimmy, who's been in this cooking business for forever, he said, "Why would you use a square piece of fish when you want your fish fry to be your staple? Why are you using anything but that?" So we're going to start doing that. Start using that fish for. If you order a fish sandwich, you're going to get that fish. Mm-hmm. It's easy to do. The breading's there. You just got to deep fry it like anything else.
Sure.
But why, use a square frozen piece like that when you can use a regular,
a nice piece of fish. That makes sense.
And
to
I
me.
understand. Until he told us that, I'd never thought of it.
Well, right, yeah.
But once he mentioned that, you're right.
Well, that's the beauty of starting something new-ish, I guess, is you get these different perspectives, different insights from a lot of different people, and you go, oh shit, I didn't think about it that way.
And we take any customer. I'm sorry, Governor, but any customers that come up with something, we're like, yeah, we'll try it.
Yeah.
If you ask us, we'll try it.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
But having people you trust that have been around, that have
and that's the main thing is
seen places function in other cities too, like bringing that different perspective in. I mean, we're all comfortable with what happens here in Edgerton and at these bars, but you bring some people in that have been to other places and have worked other places and have seen what works maybe in Whitewater versus Edgerton, and you know what? That's a pretty neat idea. Maybe we should try that here, and it's cool that somebody's actually going, I should try that.
Yep.
Well, that was
listening to the customer.
The reason that I suggested potato pancakes was in Whitewater. That's what you get. You get fish and potato pancakes.
Where at?
We used to get it at the Legion.
Okay.
But now Rick's Bar has, so I go over there and see my dad on Thursdays, and they got the marquee running, and it's Rick's fish fry and homemade potato pancakes, and I can't even come here on a Friday to get the damn things. So I'm just gonna
try to bring that here.
Yeah, let's start making them, and if it works out, it works out. If not, I'll just make them for myself every once in a while because I love them.
Right.
There you go.
Right. Perfect.
So, but yeah, that and like I said, just we're gonna with Packer games coming up. I know the first one's a Sunday night game, so that I don't know what to do about that, but that could be a band day in the afternoon and then Packer game at night. Not sure yet, but that could be something like that. And we'll just see where it goes.
You always got your Steelers you can put on in the afternoon.
I keep getting asked that. Where's the Steelers stuff going to go? It's going to stay home.
Is anybody really asking that? Or?
I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's asking.
I'm not. Well, then of course I get.
Hey, Brian.
I get Chicago fans. Or where's the Bears section going to go?
Outside.
Bathroom.
So I thought
It's in the bathroom.
I was going to tell John and Julia, let's put a little helmet up here for you. This little Bears helmet.
One of the small coin
This could be.
ones,
Yeah, exactly. This could be your table then. But it's the thing about this bar is the good-natured ribbon that goes on, and it goes on constantly. Yeah. And you guys know about working and being in the public and stuff, and if you can't take it, then it's tough.
Mm-hmm. Anytime you can park yourself next to Greg Hansen and Uncle Al and Arnie and those guys and Bun Carly when they get going each other, God.
Oh, that's all you gotta do is listen.
The wisdom that you gain out of that is
you don't have to say a word, and you're better off not.
It's like going out a coffee clutch at the pit stop.
Exactly.
When I was on vacation a couple times last month, I'd meet my dad down there and have coffee at 7:30 in the morning, and I would just take it in and just listen to Johnny and Joel bitch at each other nonstop about God knows what.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter.
It's like, this is entertainment.
You're right. It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
It's pure entertainment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, John, thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks for the insight.
Thanks for coming
Absolutely.
I betcha.
Like I said, just give us a chance. We're going to work it out, and it's.
Well, we'll be here for sure.
It's going to get this bar just needs to go where it belongs, and I can't think of a better partner to go in with.
There you go.
Because she's got the ideas that I have, and we both know what this place can do, and we're both willing to work hard to do it. So
And she's a spitfire and a ball of energy, and
Absolutely.
you need
she
somebody
is.
that
Like I
has
said,
that.
she just when she's behind that bar, that's where she belongs.
She knows what she's doing. That's for sure.
Yeah, she does know what she's doing, and I'm very, very blessed to be able to say, because I can go in the back and know she's out here by herself and she's fine.
She's got it covered.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you want.
All right. Well, thank you,
All right,
guys.
boys.
My home is where tobacco grows, Nick cornrows and Olo grows. That's where I'll be tonight, in that old tobacco town, tobacco town, tobacco town. Think I'll head on down to tobacco town.